Imagine being home alone on a frigid December night, where the silence is so profound that every sound echoes through your bones. Now, imagine hearing your mother's voice calling out to you, only to realize she isn't there. This is a true story that has left me questioning reality for over a decade. It happened 11 years ago when I was a senior in high school. Iowa winters are brutal, and the cold, silent nights can be deadly if you're caught outside. It was one such night, with everything blanketed in snow and silence. My best friend Colton and I were hanging out in my family's walkout basement, playing video games and having what we thought would be a boring winter night. We were the only ones home. My mother had gone straight from work to a bar to grab a few drinks with her coworkers. Thinking we had the house to ourselves, we decided to break into the family wine and have a bit of fun. As we were opening the first bottle, I heard the door to the garage open and slam shut. My heart skipped a beat. I started looking for a place to hide the bottle. Colton asked, "I thought you said your mom was supposed to be out all night." "She was," I replied, confused. Then I heard a few heavy stomps, and my mother's voice calling out, "Meow Sanboo? Anyone home?" I yelled back, "Yup, just hanging out in the basement." More footsteps followed, moving from the garage door toward the stairs. She called out again, "Can you come help me with something? I need you up here." Frantically hiding the bottle, I replied, "Yup, give me just a minute." After about 20 seconds of silence, her voice came again, more serious and slightly off. "Anyone down there with you?" This was odd. Our family never cared if friends were over, and her voice, though similar, was missing something I couldn't quite pinpoint. "Weirded out," I replied. "Just Colton." As I began walking up the stairs, the silence of the house became oppressive, and I felt a strange, electric tension. Reaching the top, I saw that the kitchen and garage door area were pitch black. All the lights were off, and there was no moonlight through the windows. I called out, "Mom, where are you?" No reply, just darkness and silence. The tension turned to full-blown fear, adrenaline surging through me. My mother was not home. I bolted back down the stairs, grabbing my coat. "What's wrong?" Colton asked. "My mom's not home," I replied, desperately searching for my truck keys. "What do you mean?" "You were just talking with her," he said, confused. "There's no one home. We need to leave now." But as I moved toward the back door, I saw my dog shaking on the couch and my cat growling behind it. I couldn't leave them. Something was terribly wrong. "Are we leaving?" Colton asked, still bewildered. "No, I can't leave them here alone. Something is really off. I'm going to call my mom and figure this out." I dialed her number, and she answered immediately. "Meowsenboo? What's going on?" "Mom, were you just home? I heard you yelling for me from the second level, but when I went up, you weren't there," I said, hoping for a simple explanation. "No, I'm just leaving the bar. I wasn't feeling well. Are you okay? What do you mean you heard me?" I filled her in on the whole story. She rushed home while Colton and I stayed in the basement with the animals. Before she arrived, we could hear something upstairs. Not footsteps, but a palpable pressure in the air, like a black hole moving from room to room. The best word to describe it was hungry. When my mom finally got home, the presence vanished as quickly as it had come. It felt like a predatory presence had just flown away. We never figured out what happened that night. It's just one of many unexplained events that have haunted us. But this one stands out the most. My mother has since passed away, and I've moved to Arizona. But whenever I visit Iowa and see Colton, we still get chills talking about that night. I'll never truly understand what happened, but I know that whatever had my mother's voice was something evil and hungry. What was that entity in my house that night? Was it a trick of the mind, or something far more sinister? I may never know. But be wary of the silence in the dead of winter, because sometimes it's not what you can hear that should terrify you, but what you can't.